Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AI Legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with the next part of, you can say, with another series, which is going to be what if Naruto was denied of his inheritance, the Crimson Flash of Uzushio Gakure. Well, guys, I hope that you guys will enjoy this series, and yeah, guys, don't worry about it. After this part, I shall upload the next part of what if Naruto was the Emperor of the West. And as for the Gojo Satoru series, as I am still writing the script, it is not completed. I'm still thinking about it as I want it to be as good as possible. So that's the main reason it is taking some time. But hopefully, I will upload it tomorrow or today. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoy this one. As first of all, I would like to thank all of you guys for the 9,000 subscribers. It really is a great, and I hope that I will be able to reach 10k as quick as possible. So I'm really thankful to all of you guys. And yeah, guys, please support me. And if you guys are new to this channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It will be great to reach 10k. And yeah, guys, I have an Instagram page by the name of AI Legends 1234. Please follow me on Instagram. And so that we can be in touch. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoy this part. As in this series, you can say Naruto is going to be denied of his inheritance as he's going to rose up in Uzushio, and you guys will definitely like it. Just watch it, and yeah. So without wasting any more of your time, let us start the video. As I'm going to start my video after the Nine Tails attack. All the attack of the Nine Tails still goes the same, but only one key difference, which is going to be Kushina is never going to be the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, as Kushina still battled the Nine Tails with Minato, but still, as Nine Tails escaped Mito Uzumaki when she was not in Konoha, so Nine Tails was still out there and never got imprisoned, but no other village tried to attack them. After all, there were so many strong shinobis such as Sanin, Yellow Flash, and things like that, Professor. So yeah, guys, without wasting any more of your time, let us start the video from here on. As I'm going to start my video with the council meeting, as Hiruzen said, silence, as the council meeting was going on. This was the meeting, as Hiruzen was already became the third Hokage once again and has already denied all the claims of killing Naruto whatsoever. And it got even more worse when Kushina finally woke up after her injuries, as she was pretty angry about people wanting to kill her son, and she quickly took the custody of Naruto, much to the anger of Danzo, who was hoping for her to die, but it did not matter whatsoever, as Hiruzen said, alright, let us start the meeting. So Danzo, what is the meaning of this meeting? As Danzo said, well, Hiruzen, it has come to my attention that finally one of our so many people have died in this village, and one of our beloved clan has come to extinction. At this, many people rose an eyebrow. Even Hiruzen was already getting the idea where Danzo was getting at. As he said, it seemed that the Namakaze clan has finally come to an end. So I has summoned this meeting so that we can discuss about all the property, land, money, jutsus of the Namakaze clan, especially the flying thunder god technique. At this, one voice rose up. What? As it was none other than Kushina as she stood up. What is the meaning of this, Danzo? You and I both know that Minato has an heir, which is Naruto. He's the son of Minato and therefore the heir to the Namakaze clan. As many people looked towards Kushina as they did not knew that both Minato and Kushina were married, as Danzo had a slight smirk on his face as he said, well, Kushina-san, there are no proof that you and Minato were to marry. Even if Naruto is to be son of Minato, then he is not the legitimate heir according to the clan laws of Konoha, which were created by the second Hokage. It is clearly stated that if a heir is not the legitimate or come from a wife or a woman which is not married, then the child shall not be recognized as the heir to the clan. As these many people simply nodded at that. Even the closest friend did not knew that both Minato and Kushina were married. As Kushina said, no, both Minato and me were married. As she looked towards Hiruzen and she said, Lord Third, you already know. As Hiruzen simply nodded, well, I did have the documents of both you and Minato were to be married. But in the Nine Tails attack, they were destroyed, Kushina. As this Kushina said, so what? Many of the property and many of the documents were destroy. It doesn't mean that Naruto is not legitimate or I'm not the wife of Minato. Both me and Minato married secretly in the Uzushio Gakure. All the clan of Uzumaki is there and they are ready to give statement if it is to be required. As Danzo said, that may be Kushina-san, But as Lord Third said, we simply cannot take the word for even the Lord Third and even your own word. We can recognize Naruto as Minato's son, but not the legitimate heir of the Namikaze clan. Therefore, he will not be recognized as a clan heir, and all the property shall not go to him. Though we are kind enough, as a slight smirk was on the face of Danzo, as while on the other hand Kushina, even Tsunade, who finally arrived, and she was the main reason Kushina were to be survived, as was also pretty angry as I said, we are willing to give you a large house and some property, but as for the clans and the name of the clan as well as all the jutsus, the Flying Thunder God and technique, and then the Rasengan, as well as all the other jutsus of the Namikaze clan shall to be put under the command of council. As this Hiruzen said, as he said, well, that may be, Danzo, but I have to inform the council that the technique, the Flying Thunder God technique, as well as the scroll for the Rasengan and the advanced version of the Rasengan on which Minato was working on was destroyed in the 90s and gas could be heard. Even Donzo did not knew that information. As Hiruzen said, all the scrolls that were in the safe house were simply destroyed, though I'm pretty sure that some library was still there, but I'm pretty sure that there was only one scroll of that dangerous technique which Minato knew was destroyed. At Donzo cursed and I smiled as Fugaku speak up. Yes, Lord Hokage, we cannot recognize as counsel to Naruto to be the legitimate heir. After all, he's just a demon. At this, third Hokage shoot a glare to Fugaku as he said, that is your last warning, Fugaku-san. You do know that my law is still in effect. As Fugaku gritted his teeth as he simply nodded at that. As he said, well, that is beside the point, Lord Third. As Danzo-san said, we do not have any proof of the marriage of both Kushina and Minato. Therefore, Naruto will not be considered as a Namikaze, and he will not be given the property and the secrets and jutsus of the Namikaze to this child. As he looked towards Kushina of this woman. As Kushina said, what is the meaning of this? As she stood up, finally had enough. As he said, both Minato and me married in the Uzushio Gakure. All the Uzumaki clan is the proof of it. And we have the documents there. As she also, as he said, as Ranzo said, well, we do not know that if you're just planning to take over the property of the Namikaze clan, who knows if the Uzumaki clan was plotting all of this so that they can take over the property as well as all the jutsus. After all, the Namikaze clan is a dangerous clan and a powerful one on that, and therefore, all the proof on which the Uzumaki stamp is there, we do not accept it as a council. As he looked around, as he said, therefore, I call for a vote for all the property and the jutsus of the Namikaze clan to be put under the control of the council, and therefore, as all the money to be go into the account of the council so that they can serve the village for the good of Konoha. And there were many murmurs going all around as Hiruzen simply shook his head. He knew that both Minato and Kushina are married. After all, he was the one Minato trusted the most, and when Minato went to marry Kushina, he was back in charge for some time, as he said. As he simply looked towards Danzo and glared at him, knowing that he was the one who put this issue, otherwise things would have gone smoothly. But Danzo was also not that happy about it. Though he got some jutsus of the Namikaze, but the most powerful, especially the Rasengan, as well as the Harashian, was simply lost to him, which he really wanted under the command of the Root. As Kushina could not believe it, even Tsunade, as several hands started to rose up as many of the clan heads, as only one person did not vote for it, as only 2% actually, as it is going to be Shikaku Nara, who simply murmured something about troublesome. After all, he was the Jonin commander, and Minato did say, told him about his marriage, but there was no proof once again, as for Hayashi Hyuga, who was the best friend of Minato, also did not vote, knowing that after all, both of them, but he still do not know if both of them are married or not. Otherwise, he would have supported Kushina. But still, once again, there was no proof as other than the word of a foreign shinobi. After all, Kushina was not a shinobi of Konoha. She's the ambassador of the Uzumaki clan of the Uzushio Gakure in Konoha. As Kushina could not believe it, and which means that Naruto is also not the citizen of Konoha. He's the citizen of Uzushiya Gakure because his father may be a citizen, but he's not legitimate child. Therefore, he only had the citizenship of the Uzushiya Gakure. As Kushina was looking around, as she looked toward Tadokage, Lord Third, you cannot do it. Minato trusted you. You know that both me and Minato are married. As before Hiruzen could say anything, Koharu speak up. That may be the case, Kushina-san. But as I said before, as well as the council, there is only the word of the Uzumaki clan, which is a foreign clan from a foreign country, and the word of yours. Even if there is a word of Tadokage or other people who still want proof that you're married, otherwise clan laws will be in effect. As anger started to fill the eyes of Kushina, she had finally more than enough. As Rosen stepped in, wanted to resolve the situation as quick as possible, as he said, "Don't worry, Kushina. If you're worried about living and all, we are willing to give you a large house as well as the citizenship of Konoha to both you and your son." After all, he also knew that both of them do not have the citizenship of Konoha as well as a large land and some money. As Kushina simply looked towards Hiruzen with anger in her eyes. "No, thank you. I do not need your pity." As they were several were looking towards Kushina, as Kushina said, "Alright then, if Naruto is not the legitimate son, as you said, and I'm not the legitimate wife of Minato, which means that we do not have any ties to Konoha, and therefore me and my son is going back to Uzushiyo Gakure." At this, many gasps could be heard as Shikaku speak up. "Kushina, be reasonable." As it was Koharu speak up, as he said, "Kushina, be reasonable. Naruto may not be a legitimate son, but he still is the son of Minato, our fourth Hokage. We simply cannot let him go to some other village." As Kushina said, "It does not matter. As you said, Naruto is not the legitimate son. And I was never married to Minato, which means that Naruto automatically have the citizenship of Uzushiyo Gakure, and there's nothing you guys can do. I'm going back to my village, and that is final." As then another figure stood up. "Alright, Kushina, we'll be leaving soon enough." As many of the people looked towards, as it was the clan head of the Senju clan, Tsunade Senju. As Tadokage said, "Tsunade." As Tsunade said, "I have more than enough of this, Sensei. As I told you before, I have my son in rights, as well as I'm a part Uzumaki thanks to my grandmother's side, which means that I can also go to that village if I want to. After all, I have blood ties to that village, and according to the treaty and alliance which we have, you cannot stop me from going there. Don't worry, as I'm not cutting my ties with Konoha, but still, I'm not going to remain here any longer. The village who is denying the rightful heir of our very own fourth Hokage who protected us, as well as denying them their true heritage and rights. I have more than enough of it. You even denied him the name of Namakaze, right?" As there were several people who were a bit ashamed, but still, as Danzo said, "We cannot allow it." As then Tsunade smirked, "And where is the law? There is no law stating that you can stop a foreign citizen of another shinobi village from leaving your own." As Danzo knew that he always uses the laws to his advantage, and now the law of Konoha itself was stopping him. As he created his state, he wanted Naruto to be a weapon so that he could be tormented. He would have spread rumors. Heck, he already had spread rumors that Kushina has somehow seduced their beloved fourth Hokage so that Uzumaki clan can take over the Namikaze fortune, and many of the people were already hating Kushina as well as his son, her son, as Danzo created his state inwardly. As Hiruzen simply shook his head, he never wanted things to come to this end, even though he was also sweating a little, not wanted the true heir as the true heir of the Namikaze clan to go to some other village. As Kushina said, "Alright, we'll be leaving now." As Danzo said, "The Namikaze mansion has been sealed away." As Kushina said, "Huh, I do not care for that either way." As she already had, you can say, a small scroll with her. As then Tsunade, as Kushina went to the Senju compound on which Danzo could not enter whatsoever. As then after Kushina as well as Tsunade arrived, as Kushina went to Naruto who was sleeping peacefully in the Senju mansion. As Tsunade sighed as she said, "So Kushina, are you really sure about it?" As Kushina said, I only stay in this village because of Minato-kun. I was only an ambassador in this village. As you already know, I have free rights. I can easily go back to the Uzushio if I want to. As Tsunade sighed at that, as Tsunade was also in the marriage and they did not even take her word as the proof. They want the document which they more likely know that which were destroyed as she simply shook her head. As she said, alright Kushina, I'll be supporting you. As then there was a small poof of smoke as they simply looked back to see as it was a small toad, a green toad, as he said, well, it seems that I finally arrived here, huh? As Kushina looked back as he said, Pa? As it was the elder toad of the toad clan. As he said, well, Kushina-chan, it's been a while, huh? As Sonata said, so this is the elder of the Toad clan, huh? As he simply nodded at that. You can call me Pa. As for why I'm here, you must be wondering, right? As Tsunade simply nodded at that, as he simply looked down as he said, first of all, I would like to apologize for your loss. It is a great loss to you as well as to us. After all, Minato was a great summoner for us. As then Kushina simply also nodded at that, and then the great old toad simply looked towards as Pa started to walk towards the small cave as he arrived, as he said, so this is the Naruto-kun, right? I have been informed by Gababunta as well as our other companion that Minato-kun had an heir, huh? As he simply looked down at Naruto as Naruto had red as well as blonde hair in a mixture, you can say, as they are wild hair, red as well as blonde. I just wanted it to be like that, so hope that you guys enjoyed. As Pa simply laughed it out as he said, I hope that one day Naruto-kun could also be our summoner. As Kushina said, well, I will not force him to summon any contract, but if you want to, I would suggest it. He would be really happy about it. As Pa simply laughed at that. So Kushina-chan, where are you going, huh? As he looked around, all the stuff was there. As Kushina sighed, as she explained the whole situation, as Pa could not believe it, as the same village Minato-kun has gave his life for is denying the heritage of his son, as well as saying that how he's not the legitimate child, as how could they even say that to for their own beloved Hokage? Do not know that how much pride Minato actually had, as well as how noble he actually was, as he would have married Kushina even if he were to be make a mistake the moment he would have known that both as Kushina was pregnant. As how could they even say that to their own Hokage about his own character? As Tsunade simply shook her head and said, well, I think that it was already planned out, as they simply wanted the heritage and the money of the Namikaze mansion as well as the Namikaze clan. As Toad simply nodded as he said, well, as he said, Kushina-chan, I have something for you. As he said, summoning Chusu, and then suddenly there was a poof of smoke, and then two scrolls were there. As then you can say three scrolls were there. As Kushina simply looked towards the toad and said, what are those? As he said, well, it seemed that Minato-kun has reverse summoned these scrolls with the help of a small toad to Mount Miyaboko. He wanted these for you guys, as it also had some instruction that it has a time seal on it and it will be activated after a 1 month. And it seemed that he wanted this information to be protected. As Kushina simply grabbed the scroll, and it was true. It has blood as well as time seal on it. One scroll was two, you can say, two scrolls for Naruto and one scroll for Kushina. As Kushina was pretty surprised, as she said, well, that is interesting. Let's see what will be inside of it, but I cannot activate it at the moment. It has time seal on it. As Pa simply nodded at that as he said, so Kushina-chan, I'm really sorry for you once again. And then Pa simply looked towards Naruto as he said, so, are you going to be a shinobi of the Uzushiu, huh? As he simply nodded at that as Pa sighed and said, which means that Naruto-kun will not be able to sign the Toad contract. As Tsunade looked towards Kushina and said, well, it is true, Kushina, since Toad clan serve Konoha, as it was an agreement between the Toad summoning contract as well as Konoha. So, which means that if Naruto-kun is not a summoner for he's not a shinobi of Konoha, which means that he cannot sign the toad contract. As Kushina said, don't worry about it. Even if I wanted my son to be the same summoner of the same clan of his father, but still, there will be no loss. I'm pretty sure that you will be remain in touch, right? As Pa simply smiled at that, as I said, even though we cannot dishonor our contract with Konoha, even though they have done so much wrong to one of our most beloved summoner, but still, we cannot do it. Hope you understand, Kushina-chan. As Kushina smiled at that, don't worry about it. As Pa simply dispelled himself as he went back to the summoning realm. Now let us look towards Kushina. As Kushina sighed, as she said, alright Naruto-kun, so are you ready to go to your ancestral home, huh? They will really love you there. As Sonade simply looked towards Kushina as he said, alright Kushina, so are you ready? As Kushina finally packed her thing and started to went off. As they finally arrived to the gate of Konoha, as there were several murmurs were going on, several insults were thrown at Kushina, even towards Naruto, and things like that. Even though Tsunade was pretty angry and wanted to, you can say, some blows, some heads off, but still Kushina did not simply ignored all of them. As they finally arrived to the gates, as there was only one figure standing there. It was none other than Hiruzen. As he looked towards both of them, as he looked towards Kushina, as he said, Kushina, are you sure about it? You know that I can give you a large home as well as some property and money. As Kushina simply glared at Hiruzen as he said, I do not want the damn money. I'm the heiress to the Uzumaki clan. It does not matter how much land you can give me. All of that does not matter to me. Only thing that matters is you accept our marriage, my marriage to Minato, as well as give my son his rightful name as an heir to the Namakaze clan. As Hiruzen sighed, as I said, Kushina, you know that I accept your marriage to Minato, and I also know that Naruto is true heir to the Namakaze clan. That's why I'm telling you to remain here for some time. People will understand in time, and then you can also make your claim once again, and who knows. As Kushina said, damn it, Hiruzen, what are you saying? Even coming from the Senju compound to here, people were throwing insult, and I felt so much killing intent directed toward my son. And you're saying that you want my son and me to be here? Huh? As Hiruzen simply shook his head at that. As he said, so this is your final decision, Kushina. As Kushina said, as I told you before, the council has itself said that Naruto is not the heir to the Namakaze clan, which means that he's not a citizen of Konoha. He's a citizen of Uzushio and he will serve that village from here on. And trust me, Hiruzen, the day will come when Uzumaki Naruto's name will be all across the world, and then Konoha will know what he has finally lost. And trust me, I will find the proof of the marriage, and this time a legitimate proof, and then trust me, Konoha will pay for it. As after saying that, she went off as Hiruzen sighed, knowing that it was the fault of Konoha, as well as a great injustice to his successor, as he really hated it at this point. As he simply went off, I'm too old for this shit, as he thought that in his mind. Now let us cut back to Kushina. After some travel, they finally arrive to the Uzushio Gakure. If you guys are wondering why the root did not attack them, well, they did want it to, but two Hester and Shinobi working together will definitely destroy them. After all, Tsunade was also traveling with her, which really put a dent to the plans of Danzo, who wanted, you can say, Kushina to be alone. Then he could have the Jinchuriki for his own route. At least they have the money. Now let us cut back to 1 month, as there was a roar in the council. What? As Hiruzen said. As Hiruzen puffed some smoke away, as I said before, it seemed that the Namakaze account has been zero. As then Fugaku stood up. What is the meaning of this, Lord Hokage? How could you say that the Namakaze has only zero account? As Minato, according to all the reports we received, at least have 1 trillion Ryu in his account, and as the property of the Namakazes. As Hiruzen puffed out once again smoke and said, well, it seemed that Minato has already withdrawn all of that money. Your guess is right. It actually was 1 trillion and 500 Ryu, 500 billion Ryu in the account of the Namakaze. But with the sign of Minato, when he became 4th Hokage, he put out all the money that was in his account. It seemed that he kept it for safe saving. as all the council were murmured across, as I said. And what about his techniques? As I said, at the side, according to the information, the Flying Thunder God technique could have been destroyed, or Minato could have saved it somewhere else. But the most legitimate thing could actually be that the technique, along with the Rasengan and the notes on it, were simply destroyed. As for the Namikaze library, that is still there, but I don't think that there are some other special techniques there. After all, the technique only ranges from the D rank scroll to low A rank. It seemed that Minato was saving some S9 techniques secretly far away, and right now we do not have it anywhere. So, as one of the elders said, so which means that all the Namikaze account is already zero. The techniques that are there are next to worthless. All the important techniques are nowhere to be found. As Danzo said, are you sure that Kushina does not have a hand in it? As Hiruzen said, not actually. When Minato was alive, he was the one who put out all the money from there, and it seemed that all the paper are still there, not destroyed in the 90th attack, which proves that Minato himself was the one. And according to the shinobi, it was also right. Minato withdraw all of his money away from the bank of Konoha. So, at the moment, we do not have any special technique from the Namikaze clan, as well as the account balance of the Namikaze clan has already been stripped to zero, as several murmurs were going on, as Donzo, as well as several clan heads gritted their teeth that really wanted the money, especially the civilian council member who were already told by the Donzo that they will get a share from the Namikaze mansion as well as the Namikaze property, as Donzo said. And what about the property of the Namakazes? As Hiruzen speaker, well, some property is still there. But it seems that Minato, after becoming Hokage, has sold so much property at low prices to so many poor people because he wanted to help them. So, according to my estimate, there is only, you can say, let's see, 20 million Ryu worth of property is on the name of the Namikaze, including the Namikaze mansion. There is only 20 million Ryu of property, as several, there was silence in the whole room, as not only Minato has withdrawn so much property as well as sell out so much property to low level shinobis as well as some civilians so that he could have helped them. But what about the money and all? As Hiruzen said, well, since Minato has withdrawn all the money, it will not be included in his inheritance, which means that he could have saved it somewhere else, or he must have saved it in some scroll. And since the safe house was destroyed in the 90th attack, I'm pretty sure that the scroll was also destroyed in which the money was saved, as there was dead silence in the whole council room, as only word someone spoke. So we are screwed, huh? As several, as Hiruzen said, definitely. As now let us cut back to Kushina, as Kushina has finally arrived into the Uzushio Gakure as through a ship, as she was welcomed by several Uzumaki, especially her father, as Misara A. Uzumaki, the father of the Kushina Uzumaki, as he was an elderly man. As Kushina jumped and hugged her father, as he said, "Shh, Kushina, it's all right." As Kushina started to cry, as Naruto also started to wake up. After that, as he said, "So Kushina," as he looked towards her, as he was really happy to see his daughter, as he said, "Alright, Kushina, let's go. Your mom is still waiting for you." As Kushina simply nodded at that, as she finally arrived to the Uzushio, as she was really happy to see several people who were not hostile to her son or to her, or calling names. After all, it was a big festival in the Uzushio when both Minato and Kushina married, so it was well known that as A was simply looking towards Kushina, as Kushina had just explained all the situation. First, A thought that how it must have been. I thought that how Minato must have died, and Kushina was sad about it. That's the main reason she's here. But Kushina explained the whole situation, that how Konoha has denied that Naruto is the heir to the Namikaze clan, as well as have denied her everything, as well as saying that how she never married, and even went so far to say that how Uzumaki clan was plotting against Konoha, wanted to take over the Namikaze clan as well as the property of the Namakazes, who were most, you can say, richest clan in Konoha for decades. As well, needless to say, the Uzukage was not intrigue, as he was really, really unhappy about it. As he said, "Gods, as one of the gods arrive, I want you to write a letter at this moment now." As he simply nodded at that, as Uzukage started to speak, as Kushina was really surprised, even Tsunade, who was also there, simply shook her head, knowing that the Konoha has really wanted it for itself. As Uzukage said, "Alright, I want this letter to be on in Konoha in one day. Is that clear?" As he simply nodded at that, as he simply went off, as he simply looked towards Kushina. "Don't worry, Kushina-chan. I'm still here. I'm your father and your family, your brothers are also there. You have nothing to worry about." As she simply nodded at that, as she simply looked towards Naruto, as he said, "Of course, Naruto, he will also be protected here, and we will train him. If they do not accept him as a Namakaze, well, they lost. And he will make a name for himself just like his father, and trust me, it will be a legend." As Kushina simply nodded at that as she was playing with Naruto, who was giggling pretty happy. Now let us went back to Konoha once again, as Hokage was in his usual doing paperwork and going through several things and repairing village and things like that. It has been 1 month since Kushina has left, and it takes several time, a lot of time, to went to Uzushio, as he was not so happy about it, as well as the council was also not happy about it. And as he was doing his paperwork, and then suddenly you can say the door opened and he said, "Lord Hokage, there's a messenger from Uzushio." As Hiruzen has a bad, really, really bad feeling about it. As he said, "Alright, let him in." As the messenger finally arrived, not so happy look on his face, as he said, "Lord Hokage, I have a message from Lord Uzukage." As Hiruzen simply nodded at that as he picked the message up and simply started to open it, and then his eyes widened when he saw the content in it. As he said, "Ambu," as Ambu landed beside him, "Summon the council now." As they simply nodded at that and simply went off, as Hiruzen sighed, knowing that something like this could have happened, but he really hated it at this moment. And Konoha is really weak. They cannot afford to be weak at the moment. And now, this, as now once again the council was summoned, and Danzo was not so pleased about it, as he really hated it now, as he finally arrived in the council room, as Hokage also arrived, as then Danzo speak up, "Hiruzen, what is the meaning of this? What is this council meeting is about?" As Hiruzen glared at him, knowing that this is the damn trash. All of this is going on because of the greed of Danzo, which is never ending to begin with. As he glared at him as he said, "It is Lord Hokage to you, Danzo." As Danzo was surprised why Hiruzen was so angry, as he said, "Of course, Lord Hokage." As Hiruzen looked towards all of them, "You damn bastards, you guys have any idea what have happened now?" As they were pretty surprised as he said this, as he threw a scroll to Koharu, who got the scroll and started to read it, as he said, "Well, it's a scroll from the Uzukage," as he said, "Well, Lord Hokage, it is the fourth Uzukage of the Uzushio Gakure. I have been just received the message that how you have denied my own daughter of her true right to be the clan head after the death of my son-in-law. After the death of my son-in-law, Minato Namakase, also known as the Yondaime Hokage. Not only that, you have denied my daughter, but also said that how the Uzumaki clan has been plotting against the Namakase clan and all those type of bullshit. I have more than enough of this. I hereby cancel our treaty. All the property that is in the Konoha, well, will be returned back to the Uzushio, as well as all the seals that belong to Uzushio shall be returned back, otherwise will be rendered useless according to the ritual, as well as the blood seal that is present in all the sealing or that is present in Konoha shall be rendered useless in 1 month time. We want it all to be returned, and the treaty between the Uzukage as well as the Hokage is hereby cancelled, and Konoha as Uzushio Gakure will not come to the aid of Konoha after the all the crimes Konoha has done against Uzushio Gakure, as well as not only denying my daughter her right and as well as denying my grandson to be his rightful position, saying that how he's a illegitimate son of Minato, saying that how your own beloved Hokage did not have so much of, was not even noble enough, as saying that how Minato would have really got his son from a woman, not even marrying her, putting his name through gutter and things like that. You are really disgust me, council of Konoha. I really think that Minato was a nice guy, really one, as he married and loved my daughter and had a children with him, but you guys denied it. And not only that, you said that how the Uzumaki clan are liars and just wanted the property. Well, we do not need the property of the Namakaze clan. We have more than enough for ourselves. Hereby, all the treaties are cancelled. All the transport between both the Uzuchi Gakure as well as Konoha is cancelled. All the property that is in Konoha shall to be returned back, as well as all the seals that were given by from the time of the Mito Uzumaki to till this day shall to be returned back to the Uzushi Gakure. Otherwise, it will be when rendered useless, and it will be a crime against Uzushio, and Konoha will pay for it dearly. We are Uzumakis, we never turn our back on our comrades, but it seems that Konoha does not follow that rule, then it shall be. And then it finally ended as all the Konoha council pale at that. They know the value of the ceiling god, which Konoha knows, which means that if it went rendered useless, Konoha could easily be attacked from everywhere, and they will not even know it. As Naruto said, well, it seems that Uzukage has forgotten his place. We have to tell him that why we are the strongest village. He dare demand things from us. As before he could say anything, all the room was in, you can say, bloodlust spread across the room as ki was everywhere. Even Danzo started to sweat really hard as Hiruzen was releasing it. As he said, so let me get this straight. Because of your foolishness of Danzo, because of your greed of Fugaku, as it glared at the Chiha clan leader, and now we do not have the property of the Namakaze clan. We lost the all the Uzumaki arts as well as the treaty between Uzushi Gakure, which is of 100 damn years of alliance cut off because of your greed, Danzo. I hope that you're happy now for the good of Konoha, my ass. As he simply glared at Danzo, as he said, alright, it seems that we have nothing. We lost the heir to the Namakaze clan as well as the property, and now finally the alliance. I hope that you're happy now, honorable council. After saying that, he went off, as Danzo was not pleased whatsoever. It was a disrespect to him. He will not have it, he will have his revenge. But at the moment, he has to find the scroll of the flying Thundercard technique. He knows that are there. He just has to find it in the Namakaze mansion, as well as the scroll of all the money in which Minato somehow has saved inside of it. Now, not knowing where it could actually be. Now, let us cut back to Kushina as well as the Uzushio Gakure, as it has been some time and now the time seal has finally worn off. As Kushina said, alright, let's see Minato-kun, but as have you left? After all, your name was not given to your son. Let's see, but you have left for your son. As she released a scroll, and then there was a poof of smoke, and then suddenly all the room was filled with money. As Kushina's eyes widened, even Uzushi as Uzukage was pretty surprised. As Kushina looked around as he said, wait a minute, Minato-kun did told me that how he has released all the money from the bank. I asked him why he did that, but he did not answer me. As she simply looked around, as there were millions, not trillions of Ryu all around her. As she was pretty surprised, as Osukage started to laugh as he said, well, it seemed that Minato was a genius in every word of sense. He knew that things could have gotten complicated, and to protect his life earning, he must have left it into the world of the toads. What other place could be, huh? Where it could not be stolen. As Kushina let out a small chuckle with a sad expression on her face. As she said, let's see, Naruto-kun, what your father has left for you. As Naruto started to giggle. As Kushina said, alright, datte bane. As she put some chakra into the scroll, and then a small amount of blood of Naruto. scroll started to get opened as Kushina's eyes widened as she said, "No, it cannot be." As these were the notes as well as the scroll of the Flying Thunder God technique as well as the Rasengan steps, as even the Uzukage was pretty surprised as there was a small note in it as Kushina opened it as she said, "Dear Kushina, if you're reading this, which means that I'm no longer alive. In my last moment, I sent a small shadow clone which has reverse summoned all of my knowledge of my dangerous technique, my training schedule, and things like that into the world of toads. And I have given instructions to Fukasago so that he can return this knowledge to you, Naruto-kun, as Kushina-chan. This is for Naruto-kun. I hope that one day he will be able to master my techniques and could use it. I know that I may not be a perfect husband for you, Kushina, but I just want to tell you that I am really happy to be with you. And all of my life, it was great. Thanks to you. And now I'm a father because of you. So I'm really grateful for that, Kushina. And I'm really sorry that I have to sacrifice my life for the good of Konoha. But still, as a Hokage, it is my duty, and as a father, it is my duty to pass on my inheritance as well as my knowledge to my son. This is for Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, my heir, my son, and the last Namikaze, as the letter finally ends. And the next scroll, Kushina-chan, it only belongs to Naruto. It has a time scale for some years. After some time, he should be able to activate it, but not until now. As Kushina has sad tears in her eyes, as Uzukage was really surprised. And it seemed that Minato himself wanted to give all of this to his son, or he could have a small hint of all of these things going wrong for his son. So he wanted to protect it and gave these things to Naruto in the last moment of his life, as he was really proud of his son-in-law. Well guys, here I will have this part. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed as how Konoha not only lost the Namikaze heir, all the property of the Namakazes as well as all the knowledge is also lost to Konoha, and soon enough Naruto's name will spread across the elemental nations. He will take on armies and things like that. But if you guys want the next part of this series as early as possible, then the like goal is 250 likes and 180 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as quick as possible. So yeah guys, hope you enjoy it, and yeah, peace.